Hi, folks. A long time ago, I heard that there was a very famous Chinese curse that, when translated, goes something like this: May you live in interesting times. And I would have to say that the early part of this year certainly qualifies as interesting times, to put it mildly. I have found more than a bit of solace lately at the workbench. And I do have to say that the last 6, 7 weeks, so February and this first 2.5, 3 weeks of March, have been particularly gratifying from a hobby standpoint, because during February I was finishing up a build for a fantastic group build hosted by Joachim and Marcus, with the subject matter reconnaissance, which was just a brilliant idea because it allowed participants to submit entries from land, sea, air, even space. Probably the only type of model that wasn't covered or couldn't be covered probably with the subject matter of reconnaissance was hot rods or something like that. Although I did see a submission that looked very much like a very military dune buggy, obviously with some armament as well. But anyway, that was inspiring, and I really enjoyed participating in that group build, which finished up at the end of February. And recently there was a review of it that Joachim put a video out on his channel showing the results of that incredibly fun group build. And right about the end of that time, I was contacted by my buddy Trey, who suggested that he and I do a buddy build of an old Aurora kit, the Gotha Bomber. The original kit dates back to was issued by Aurora in 1958, and then it was reissued again in 1972 and 76. Anyway, to make a long story short, that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks. And I want to say I've been very gratified by the support of people who watch the channel here, my channel, in terms of encouragement and compliments as I built that vintage kit and had a lot of fun doing it. So the combination of participating in a group build with a very well-chosen broad theme and a buddy build which focused on a company, specific model, but from a company that I've got a real sentimental attachment to, given my age and when I was a kid building simple model airplanes, the Aurora Plastics Company. I thought, maybe it's time you get really bold, Mark, and, you could think about hosting a group build. And I am batting around the idea now of hosting a group build that focuses on kits produced by the Aurora Plastics Corporation, which was in business formally from 1952 to, and then owned with the original owners through 69. In 1969, the company was sold to private investors. It ultimately ceased operations in 1980. The heyday of the company, Aurora Plastics Corporation, was the late 50s and through the 60s. And during that time, the company produced a plethora of models in all sorts of subject matter, originally starting with aircraft, but expanding into cars, ships, tanks, and then, of course, very famously, and something they were known for, figures of all sorts from the world of movies, television, monster kits, etc. And I thought, hey, how about a group build that focuses on Aurora kits and even the reissues, because there was sort of a recurrence with a number of manufacturers who got hold of the Aurora molds through licensing arrangements and others and produced a limited number of, I'll just say, replicas or reissues of Aurora kits in more recent days. So I have this book here, Aurora Model Kits by Thomas Graham, which is pretty much the Bible of every kit that Aurora Plastics Corporation and almost every kit that its successors produced. And I was thinking about how about hosting a group build that focuses on building something from the Aurora product line, which means it pretty much caters to every genre. But again, I don't really know if my passion for that company is a function of nostalgia and when I happened to grow up, or might be shared by some other folks, which would justify, launching, a group build. So I'm putting that out there as a question to anybody who tunes in. And I'm going to gauge the interest based on feedback I get in comments to this video. One other condition about whether I go forward with this is I'm going to need a co-host. And if somebody is up to that task of putting up with me and then having just a modicum of photo editing, video editing skills that is better than mine, and that is not hard, by the way. And that part you can respond to if you are indeed willing to step forward and be that brave to work with me by contacting me via email. And I will put my email in the description if you're willing to be that bold and take a chance on working with me. That, of course, will then depend on whether I, in my capricious manner, decide that, there really is enough interest. And then we will launch a group build. The rules are going to be very minimal because this is going to be a very expansive opportunity to do pretty much anything in the Aurora stable line. And it's a big stable. So I'm just going to wait and see. I'll put this video up now, which has run far too long, the introduction, but I tend to get that way. And I'm going to show some pictures, still pictures at the end of this, which illustrate some of the product line of the Aurora Plastics Corporation over the years as well. There might be a few pictures of some of the successor kits which were done off of Aurora molds later on. They're all from that book, Aurora Model Kits by Graham. I took pictures of those and have attached them. So I'll put this up and I will see what happens. Thanks for watching.